Welcome back to the Race to the White House, an election special. Let's go right out to Santa Barbara, California, where the legendary Dennis Miller joins us now. So, Miller, you were really smart. You got out of the country almost a whole summer on these lavish trips. You didn't have to see all the political back and forth, which I know you despise. But I really want to know about your trips. You went to Iceland. They like Americans in Iceland?
Well, Billy, I went to the Scandinavian countries, and I spent the last 2 weeks, I went to England, I went to Italy, but you know what my favorite country was?
What?
Iran! Because it's truffle season in Tehran. I got over there. They mistook me for a Jewish guy, and they opened all the doors. It was beautiful, you know, because we're all working together now. So Tehran, Iran. No, I didn't go there, but I did go to Italy the last couple of weeks. I've been out all summer, Billy. I like to visit other countries. and I was out looking around, seeing what's out there in the world in case Bernie Sanders takes over.
Yeah, that's a good thing, you scout. Now, let's run them down. Iceland, everybody nice? They like Americans there. I was there a couple of years ago. I thought everybody was fine, right?
Iceland was beautiful, and you know, Icelandic Air has a nice thing where you can stop there for a week and get no accrue, no extra fees, and you stop on your way across the Atlantic. So you can do a little,
little hopping.
You can rest up in Iceland for a few days before you go on to Denmark, which was lovely, Sweden, which was quite nice. And did I say Denmark?
Yes.
And then, but the last 2 weeks I've been in Italy. And you know something, Billy? I think America is kind of reminding me of a European country. Now, granted, we have prefabricated ruins. They have the real thing over there. And I do notice a little concern over in Europe. I think they're a little concerned that we've decided to step off the medal stand as far as kicking, you know, bad guys' rear ends. So, you know, they won't say that, but I think everybody dug America in that guise. And but I do think, you know, when you go overseas, there's now that we're, you know, strange bedfellows with Iran, that kind of dovetails with a growing anti-Semitism in Europe. So I think they dig that about us. I also think that since we don't enforce our border anymore, that makes us one of the guys. So I think they like that about us. And I think we're becoming more of a laissez-faire culture in that we used to live to work, and then we work to live, and now we live to work 29-hour weeks. I think they dig that about us. And when they see kids spending $1,600 a month in San Francisco for a bunk bed, I think that kind of reminds them of, you know, us. They look at us and go, oh, they're becoming more European. Maybe they'll turn into that shining hostel on a hill. So I think that we're more like Europeans than we used to. But one thing where I do sense a difference, Billy, I don't sense a white-hot hatred for America like I do in certain factions of the American left.
Okay.
You know, over here you've got some people who flat out hate America. I think they still kind of have fond memories, but I do think by and large quasi-socialistic nations like to welcome what was once a non-socialistic nation into the quasi-socialistic Brotherhood of Nations, because there's less chance for embarrassment of them if, you know, everybody kind of gives up a little. So
right,
I do think they like that.
This is a serious question. When you were in Italy, are they covering the migrants or coming over from Libya to Sicily? They're all over the place. In fact, if your beard gets any longer and you go back, the Hungarians might hit you on the head. Was Italy, were they all talking about the migration? Was it covering the migration? What about it?
No.
No?
I'll be honest with you, Bill. Like I said, I don't think protecting your border is a big thing anymore. I do find it ironic that a lot of people split countries that they don't like and go to other countries and then try to set up a mini version of their country where they celebrate the ways of their country in the new country that they split the old country to go to. That seems a little tedious to me.
Yeah, they don't assimilate.
I think I'm way in the minority, Billy. I think most people, by and large, I think it's an open border world, and whatever people want to do is fine. I'm like old school, but I'm a dinosaur, except that they'll never mine my fossil for fuel in the future, because that'll be odd. But I don't think people care about borders anymore.
This is the biggest human migration since World War II. It's going to get worse. The Africans are going to start to come over to Italy. If you lived in Africa, you would too. Believe me when I tell you, life is hard over there, and in the Western European nations, it's not hard. It's a soft place to go. Now,
like I said, Billy, I realize my ways are the old ways. I feel like in many ways, I feel like I live as an expatriate in a country that used to be my own country in a way.
Yeah, I mean, traditional
I just go
values
along for the ride.
Yeah.
Whatever anybody wants is not that big a deal to me.
I react a little bit more emotionally than you do about it, and I fight a little harder, especially among things that I know are going to be harmful to everybody. But
Billy, how can you meld that with you just said to me I would do it too? So I guess you understand it too, right?
I
Borders are kind of
understand.
superfluous.
I understand the human suffering aspect of it, but I also understand that this didn't have to happen. And it happened because of the incompetence of the Obama administration and the cowardice of the European Union. The combination has created mass chaos, and if you had strong leaders, as we once had in this country and in Europe, that never would have happened. We would have wiped out Assad. He would have been done. The mullahs would have been on the run, and ISIS would have been rubble. Patton could have knocked out ISIS in a week. 1 week, ISIS is through. But we don't have leaders anymore.
Billy, like I said, after seeing all these other countries, I will say America's still the best country in the world, but increasingly that's like being valedictorian in summer school.
All right, Dennis Miller, everybody. And if you would like to see the D-Man and me in person in Phoenix, in South Florida, and Chicago, BillO'Reilly.com has all the information on the Don't Be a Pinhead shows. Bernie Goldberg will wrap this special up in just a few moments.